Hello, my name is Alan Wallace, and I'm the founder of the Centers for Contemplative Research, beginning in one in Colorado in the United States, another being developed in Tuscany in Italy, and the third one could say the crown jewel, the largest one, in the Materi Valley on the northwest end of the South Island of New Zealand. So these centers, all three of them, and in the course of time they'll be developed and will fully function, are designed as centers where contemplatives will be investigating the mind, the inner causes of well-being, the inner causes, the true inner causes of mental distress, of depression, anxiety, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and so on, where these are symptoms, but the underlying causes, why do people become depressed? What are the internal factors in the mind for becoming depressed, anxious, having low self-esteem, insomnia, ADHD, and so forth? These are all symptoms, but the underlying causes in the mind have not been explored in depth yet. That's what is the point of training people in their powers of mindfulness, introspection, developing attention skills, and concentration as you bring a telescope to explore celestial phenomena, but with empowered modes of observation. So with samadhi, highly focused meditative concentration, you can explore the depths of the mind, perhaps even discover the origins of the human mind and what happens to the human mind at death, the true causes of genuine well-being, and what are the true causes for this myriad range of mental distress that are often called diseases, but are in fact symptoms of diseases. But these will not be only the contemplatives themselves doing the research directly by observing the mind, exploring, experimenting with the mind, but working in collaboration with psychologists, neuroscientists, possibly philosophers of mind, to bring together the strengths of mainstream modern science with the ancient wisdom and methods of the great contemplative traditions of the world. Fathom the mind in order to heal the world is our motivation, our aspiration, and our vision. Very much inspired by my primary teacher, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who on the one hand, of course, a very prominent Buddhist leader, probably the most prominent, but he speaks with such deep appreciation of the world's religious traditions, the great contemplative traditions around the world, ancient and modern, but also deep appreciation of the extraordinary insights and benefits we've derived, we human beings, from modern science. So this is a unifying venture, a collaborative venture, drawing from the ancient wisdom of the East and West and the modern methods and insights of modern science. Unprecedented, without parallel. True centers for contemplative research that are both rigorously scientific and also rigorously contemplative in their methods. Not just meditating to find a little bit of peace of mind or reduce stress, which is all good, but to really fathom the nature of the mind. The minds of ourselves, the minds of other people. And by fathoming the true inner causes of genuine well-being and the true inner causes of mental distress, we may then look outwards and really be in a position to heal this very troubled world with so many problems, some of them unprecedented. Global climate change, the potential use of weapons of mass destruction, of war, and so forth. How much do we need people in government to be of sound mind, mentally balanced, altruistic, intelligent? So the insights gleaned from this collaborative research of contemplatives and scientists, on the one hand, will immediately benefit those engaging in that research, but as we look ahead, we are actively looking for practical applications in education, public education for everyone, religious people, not religious people, of all kinds. We, of my generation, the older generation, the younger, I think we have a moral responsibility to do our very, very best to educate young people, to be able to face the challenges that the older generations have presented to them, especially environmentally, to not only survive but flourish. For that, we need to provide them with education not only to make a livelihood, to make a living, to succeed, but also to flourish mentally, with mental balance, and in a sense of well-being, emotional resilience. And so applying this in education, in the business world, in government, in mental health. It could be applied also in athletics. Why not? In athletics, we have people highly trained for optimal performance physically, in sports, in gymnastics, in running, and so on, track and field. But what about optimal performance of the mind? This is a place to train people in the optimal performance of the mind, but not just in terms of attention and so forth, but also cultivating the heart, cultivating empathy, loving kindness, compassion. And so these centers are designed to help people cultivate their mind in the most meaningful ways possible, and to draw forth the inner resources of the mind for their own benefit, and to enable them to be of greatest possible benefit to the world around us all. Wherein already we have contemplatives engaging in full-time intensive professional training in our center in Colorado, under expert guidance in very conducive environment, and again, as I said, under development, the same type of center in Tuscany, and then in our much larger property that has been so generously granted to us by two wonderfully benevolent benefactors. So this quiet, secluded spot on the southern island, the South Island of New Zealand, especially those living in the Asia-Pacific region. This is our Center for Contemplative Research in the Asia-Pacific region. This is especially, but not uniquely, for those living in New Zealand, in Australia, with such close connection between these two nations, but others living also in Southeast Asia, in East Asia, the Pacific region, a place that is a refuge, a place of quiet, but not just a withdrawal from the world, a temporary withdrawal from the world to gain insights that can be applied to education, to mental health care, to environmental activism, could be applied in government. This is our vision. It is born out of our yearning to be of greatest possible service to the world. And we invite you to come and visit, and if this inspires you, to share this vision and participate as we do our best to be of service to this world.